Hey everyone, this is Soyeb Aftab. Welcome back to another video, and in this video I'm going to talk about the resources which I used during my first year of MBBS. So let's begin. First off, as you know, we have three subjects in our first year of MBBS, which is anatomy, physiology and biochemistry. For anatomy, we have further subdivisions like general anatomy, cross anatomy, embryology, histology, neuroanatomy, etc. So you basically have two options for studying the books, which is either you can buy all the books or you can download the PDF on your, let's say, iPad or any other tablet device. But as you might know, I'm more of an offline guy, so I used to buy most of these books, and some of it I borrowed from my seniors too. So first off, let's come to anatomy. As you might know, for general anatomy, most of us prefer the book by B.D. Chaurasia, which is General Anatomy by B.D. Chaurasia. Apart from this, we also have 4 volumes of B.D. Chaurasia for gross. As you can see, this is the volume 4 part, and we use mainly the BDC type of books for our exam preparation. But for more of conceptual understanding, which is the standard textbooks, we like to use grays. And there are two types of grays. We have the mother grays and we have the student grays. And for easier purposes, we used to do the student grays. So you can use this book if you want to develop a more conceptual understanding, but there is one drawback. You can't really frame very great answers with the help of this, but you can develop a very good understanding of all of the gross anatomy part. But for framing answers, I do recommend BDC because that's what I used and that's what helped me the most. What you also need for good visualization is a kind of atlas. So for atlas, I used to have this, which is the Netter's Atlas of Human Anatomy. You can see this. Now for embryology, you have basically two options. One is the Indian author, which you can use as IB Singh, but apart from that, you can also use this, which I used, which is Medical Embryology by Langmans. For the DH hall, which is the dissection hall, we mainly used to have this, which is the Cunningham's. Most of the students prefer to borrow it from their seniors. Nobody really likes to read it, but you can do it, when you're really bored in the dissection hall. That was not all. Anat being a really huge subject in terms of its volume and the amount of subject matter in it, I thought that I must use something else too, so that I can help with this preparation, because I really wasn't able to, visualize or understand the concepts very easily during the initial stages. So I figured that I might have to use some kind of additional help apart from my college. So that's when I decided to go for DBMCI's first prof concept videos. They were really amazing and helped me throughout my entire first year journey. But in my second year, I felt that I should go for some kind of offline class too. So I enrolled into their offline classes where they have face-to-face live interaction. They have a very good mentorship program. They also upload all of the live lectures into their e-Gurukul app, so that you can view them later too if you, let's say, missed some part or you couldn't concentrate during the whole lecture. They also have the last minute revision series, commonly known as the LMRP, and apart from that, they have very good post-class tests along with doubt solving sessions. Not only that, if you enroll for the offline program, you also get free access to the e-Gurukul app, which is their online app, which has amazing quality of video lectures, notes, tests, questions, etc. The biggest advantage that I found while I was studying offline was that I got to sit with some of my peers, and we were all trying to concentrate and trying to figure out what was going on, trying to learn all of the concepts that were being taught to us. But the problem is, if you try to do it through your mobile, or if you start studying on your smartphone, then during online classes, what happens is we get a lot of notifications from, let's say, Instagram or WhatsApp, and what we tend to do is we tend to go to those websites or these apps, and we tend to waste our time. That is why I used to prefer the offline mode. But again, it's a lot of personal preference and depends on you, like how much disciplined you are and how can you control your emotions. And if you can, not give in to all of these distractions, and you can really focus on what you're studying through the online mode, then again, it can be one of the best modes, because you don't have to travel to your coaching center. Then for the histology part, again, you have two kinds of books. One is the IB Singh, which is again great for exams. But then if you want to have a really good conceptual understanding, you can have the D. Fiore's Atlas of Human Histology. For neuroanatomy, again, similarly, you have two kinds of options. One is the again, Snell's Clinical Neuroanatomy, again great for conceptual understanding, but not very great if you want to write answers and just pass in your exams. Then that is why we also have the Vishram Singh's book of Clinical Neuroanatomy. Next, let's come to physiology part. For physiology, you have mainly two books, which is Guyton and Ganong. So basically, according to our seniors, we used to do some of our chapters through Guyton, but some of the chapters were given really great in Ganum, so I also used Ganum. So basically Ganum is the gold standard book, you can say, but Guyton has really great explanations and you can really develop a very good concept. As you know, physiology is also important for in your later classes for your medicine and for pathology. Apart from that, if you are really interested in pursuing USMLE, you can also go through this book, which is recommended, which is the BRS Physiology by Constanzo. So you can go through this book. It's a review book, meaning it has the great points from all of the important books there. Not only that, if you just want to study and pass your, and if you don't want to read all the standard textbooks, there are also other options available which are written in a much easier language and given in a point-wise or summarized manner. You have books like A.K. Jain, Bijlani, etc. that you can refer to. For practical physiology, I didn't go through any other book apart from the practical manual which is given to us by AIIMS. For you can go either through a practical manual that is given by our institute, or people also tend to use books like GK Pal, etc. Last but not the least, for Biochem, you have two great books out here, which is the Harper's and Lippincott. So I used both of these books. Here too I relied mainly on my seniors' advices on which chapters to prepare from Harper and which chapters to do from Lippincott. And apart from that, for the practical part, again here too I used my institute's lab manual which is provided to us. Again, in this case too, you have options like Satyanarayan and Vasudevan which you can use to pass. For example, if you find these Harper and Lippincott, their language, if you find it too difficult, then you can use these kind of books.